That's right. It's time to go global now. We start from the United States. Let's see how the market fared yesterday with our correspondent, Maria Bird.
Good morning, Annie. The U.S. stock market on Thursday showed some positive signs as companies like NVIDIA, Salesforce, and CrowdStrike showed some positive signs in the stock market. This also meant that the Dow Jones was on an upward tick at 0.2% up, and the S&P 500 was also up at 0.7% up, and the heavy tech Nasdaq led the day up at 1.5%. While the U.S. stock market was strong on Thursday, investors still watching for the Federal Reserve Chairman's announcement and potential speech on Friday. It is good. This could be a stale-making moment for the U.S. stock market.
Thank you, Marie. And still from there, NVIDIA shares we saw surged 8.7% after the chipmaker issued a bullish outlook, reinforcing investors' confidence in the strength of demand for artificial intelligence technology. The company's performance is being closely watched by NVIDIA, remains at the center of global AI boom, supplying the advanced chips needed to power data centers and generative AI systems. With AI spending remaining a key driver of technology markets, investors are now assessing whether that momentum can be sustained. And away from NVIDIA, global markets are turning their attention to Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Walsh is set to speak later on today, and investors are searching for fresh clues about the direction of U.S. interest rate. Markets are particularly focused on the Fed's assessment of inflation, economic growth, and the labor markets, with any change in the central bank's tone likely to influence bond yields, the dollar, as well as equity markets. And investors have been weighing the possibility of future rate cuts against the risk that inflation could remain above the Fed's targets. And then Mr. Wash's comment could therefore provide an important signal ahead of the next policy decision and help set the tone for global financial markets. Talking about inflation in France, that has accelerated to 2.7% in August, with higher energy costs contributing to pickup in price pressures. The latest figure comes as European consumers continue to face pressure from the cost of energy and other essential goods and services. The data will be closely watched by the European Central Bank, particularly as policymakers seek to keep inflation under control without putting additional pressure on economic growth. A persistent rise in prices could complicate expectations around future interest rate moves and force investors to reassess the outlook for European market policy. And inflationary pressures are building across major European economies. Spain is also there. The rate there has surged above 4%, while France has also recorded that fresh high that we told you. The developments are raising questions about whether recent easing in European inflation can be sustained, particularly as energy costs begin to put more pressure on consumer. Investors will now be watching upcoming Eurozone data for signs of whether the latest increases are temporal or of a broader re-acceleration in prices. Leaving Europe, we go to Asia. South Korea's $1.4 trillion National Pension Fund has reported a 27% return for the first half of the year, marking a strong performance for one of the world's largest institutional investors. The results highlight the growing influence of large pension funds in global capital market, with their investment decisions having the potential to affect equities, bonds, currencies, and alternative assets. The fund has been diversifying its portfolio across international markets as it seeks to generate long-term returns while meeting future pension obligations. Online fashion retailer Shein is set to make its Hong Kong stock market debut in a listing that could provide a major boost to the city's capital markets. The company's IPO is drawing significant attention because of Shein's global customer base and its position as one of the world's largest online fast fashion platforms. The listing also comes at a time when Hong Kong is seeking to attract more major technology and consumer companies to its exchange and revive IPO activity. And Toyota's global vehicle sales have fallen for a sixth consecutive month, with weak demand in China emerging as a major drag on the Japanese automaker's performance. The decline comes as Toyota and other global car makers face intense competition in China, where local electric vehicle manufacturers are expanding rapidly and pressuring established brands. China remains one of the world's most important automotive markets, making the slowdown particularly significant for global manufacturers. The latest sales figures could add to pressure on automakers to accelerate their electric vehicle strategies and adapt to changing consumer demand in the region. OpenAI is expanding its advertising experiments in India, rolling out ads to users on select ChatGPT plans as the AI company looks for new ways to generate revenue. The move marks an important development in the commercialization of generative AI as companies face the high computing and infrastructure costs required to operate advanced AI systems at scale. India is particularly important for OpenAI given its large and growing base of interest and AI users. The introduction of advertising could also signal a shift in how AI services are monetized, with companies balancing free or low-cost access with the need to fund continued investment in AI technology.